What's going on, guys, and welcome to season 10 of our franchise series with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Our final year with the Leafs. Had a pretty successful run with them throughout the series, so we'll jump right into it. As always, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. The support helps me out a ton. I appreciate every single one of you for being here. So before we get into it, obviously had to sim a little bit to get some trades or some signings through, which we went over at the end of last episode. But we also did make a trade that we have to announce right at the start of the season. Toronto is going to receive goaltender Peyton Burns, and we traded to Pittsburgh goalie Philip Gustafson and forward prospect Pierre Gagné. So with that being said, we'll go over our lines real quick because I think this move benefits us greatly. As we look ahead to the season, this team looks pretty solid. Like, we have a very good forward core here. First line there, Carlson Fedorov right gets a +3. Move Matthews down to the second line there, playing with Kaliev and Yurov. And then we'll have our third line gets a +5 with Lacerte, Whitfield, and Poirier. Should be a good depth scoring option for us. And then Tippett, Krstanovich, and Kravtsov rounding it out. Good depth line for us there. Defense looks pretty solid as well. We'll have Dickinson and Clark up on that first pairing, get a +2. Mankari and Naslin here on the second pairing will get a +1. And then Sandin and Hines rounding it out on the third pairing. Now, as for goalies, Burns, who we traded for, is 23 years old and an 86 overall. He has some X factors here. As you can see, he was a first-round pick in 2027 by Pittsburgh. We'd actually made him an offer sheet in the offseason, but they chose to match it, and I figured might as well trade back for him. Really good stats there on his reflexes because we have 4 years at $3.2 million, so saves us some money on cap, and hopefully he ends up being an actual improvement. He is an 86 overall, and then we'll have Bjarnason backing him up, who's an 83 overall. So hopefully this gives us some more solid goaltending throughout the season, because I think that's sort of where our weakness was. Our special teams look really lethal this season. Power play 1 there gets a +5, and then power play 2 also gets a +5. So lots of great scoring threats on both units. 4-man power play will get a +5 on that first unit, and the second unit here will get a +2. As for our penalty kill, first PK gets a +5, very good unit there. Second PK will get a +3, and our third PK unit is even. And then 3-man will have a +2 on that first unit. Second unit will be at even, and third unit is also even. So we have good special teams. Hopefully, Burns pans out as a great goalie for us this season. We really want to make another good run at the playoffs. Hopefully get into the Stanley Cup final. Pretty hard to do that 2 seasons in a row. But obviously, we fell in 5 games to the Edmonton Oilers last season, who were back-to-back Stanley Cup champs, which I'm sure Edmonton will be happy about that, as you can see here. 2 times in a row, Edmonton Oilers right after us winning. So hoping to get back in there. As usual, we'll be simming out to the start of the new year, January 1st of 2033, and see how we're doing then. Alright guys, so at the start of the new year, we currently have a record of 23-9-3, playing very well. We've started to get on a bit of a heater, honestly. 7-1-2 in our last 10 games. Austin Matthews there popping off, 49 points in 35 games. So 49 points puts us atop of the Atlantic and first place so far in the Eastern Conference. Also third in the league behind the Avalanche and Blackhawks. So nice first half of the season here. Head out into the trade deadline. Guys are playing well, getting into grooves. And yeah, things look pretty good for us right now. So yeah, like usual, head into the trade deadline and see how we're doing then. See if we want to make any moves. Alright guys, so here headed into the trade deadline, we have a record of 41-18-4, good for 86 points. First place in the Eastern Conference and tied with the Blackhawks for first in the league. Identical records there, actually. Very interesting. Austin Matthews absolutely going off 80 points in 63 games. So you put him down on that second line and he gets those, second line matchups and he just absolutely destroys everyone. Good placement there. Again, finding a lot of consistency, lots of big wins, scoring a lot of goals up and down the lineup. I really like how this team is playing. I honestly don't know that we're going to make a move at the deadline unless it's, to bring in like a superstar. So let's head in and see what we want to do. All right, so the trade deadline is complete. We didn't make any moves, unfortunately, just, couldn't get things to work with salary caps and stuff like that. But we'll go over and see what happened in the rest of the league here. Keandre Miller there to the Predators. Sanderson goes to Montreal in exchange for Nick Suzuki. That's a pretty big trade. Matthias Samuelsson to Tampa. McGroarty there going to St. Louis. Chayka to New Jersey. Thomas to Vegas. Let's see. Nolan Allen to Tampa, Peak and Bork going to Buffalo. A lot of these guys are just made up guys at this point. Big trade there, though. Wow, Tage Thompson there goes to Vancouver in exchange for Rasmus Anderson, Adrian Kempe, and Cale Clegg from Vancouver. Very big trade there. Let's see. Oh, wow, and Cousins going to New Jersey in exchange for Powell York and a second-round pick. So Buffalo's kind of selling out here. What the heck? And let's see. Kyle Connor there goes to San Jose from the Islanders. So pretty active trade deadline here. Again, we didn't make any moves. There's that blockbuster trade alert. Dylan Cousins there to New Jersey. Should get another one. Nick Suzuki there, to Ottawa. And no, none for Tage Thompson. So he kind of got snubbed there. I would consider that a blockbuster at this point. So we'll head out to the end of the regular season, see how we're doing then. We definitely look in position, barring a catastrophe, to make the playoffs. So let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the regular season is over. We finished with a record of 53, 24, and 5, good for 111 points and first place in the Eastern Conference. Just behind the Blackhawks, though, they'll take home the President's Trophy with 114 points, but second place finish in the league. Very solid there. Austin Matthews, our leading scorer, 98 points, 52 goals. Dude absolutely went off, tore up the league, playing on that second line there. So as for forwards here, Carlson went off. Wow, we're point per game. Same with Shane Wright. So that first line was very, very good. And then Kaliev there, 64 points, very impressive. Yurov plus 45. Oh my goodness. Absolutely insane. Our depth here, Poirier there, over 20 goals on that third line. Very good. And our depth here looks like it came through for sure. That fourth line there, plus 11, plus 8, and plus 6. So very nice to see them doing well. As for our defensemen here, Clark leads the way, 63 points and a plus 47. Playing up on that top pair with Dickinson, he'll have a plus 38. Very nice to see. Mankari puts up a very solid season in his second year with us, 47 points and a plus 14. Bottom pairing as well of Sandin and Naslin, or Hines, both plus 6. You'll love to see it. As for goalies here, Burns played very well for us, 0.905, 2.77, so that definitely helped for sure. Hunter Jones here, certainly not great, 0.886 and 3.54, but such is the nature of backup goalies at this point in a franchise series. So overall, very, very happy with that. And we will take a look at the entire league, see what went down. Connor Bedard leads the way, 109 points, and you got Barkov, Ranton, and Draisaitl, all 100 plus points. Matthews there finishes 7th. I can't count. 7th in the league in scoring. Very nice to see there. As for defenseman, Quinn Hughes leading the way this time, 90 points and a plus 22. Brant Clark there gets on the first page of defenseman scoring. We like to see it. Goalies here, Burns leads the way with 47 wins. We really like to see that. Best save percentage for a starter, though, is going to go to Devin Levi with a .921. And best goals against for a starter is going to be also Levi with a 2.72. Burns there not far behind, though, 2.77. So I feel like, the Vezina might go to Devin Levi, but you never know. And we will sim out here to the playoffs and see who we get. All right, guys, so we have the Montreal Canadiens in the first round of the playoffs here. Take a look at the rest of the playoff picture. We'll have Tampa and Boston, New Jersey, Carolina, and then Florida and Pittsburgh. As for the Western Conference, we'll have Edmonton and Colorado, Anaheim and LA, Dallas and Winnipeg, and St. Louis and Chicago. So let's take a look at this Montreal team. I don't believe they've made any huge changes over the last several seasons. Top 6 remains very, very stacked. Like, probably one of the best top 6s in the league. Bottom 6 is 79 overall Kucherov. Oh my goodness. AHL top 6. Wow. He's kind of going off though, so they got some nice depth, especially with him down there. on that fourth line there. As far as defense, pretty nice first pairing, Sanderson and Schneider. I mean, their defense is okay. Like, nothing insane, but also not super weak, so pretty good defense. As for goalies, they'll have an 81 Jurenko and 79 Berhowski in net. So, I'm not going to write them off just based on that. We've lost to literally 80 overall goalies before in the playoffs. So, always kind of nervous here. Obviously, playoffs in our last season with the Leafs. And let's take it 2 games at a time to start here. First 2 games. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, so we lose 2-1 and then we win 10-4. Interesting. Games 3 and 4 in Montreal here. And 2 losses. All right. 3-1 loss and a 6-3 loss. So could be it for us. Definitely a mountain of a task here. Final year with the Leafs. Not the way we'd want to go out. And let's sim into game 5 here. We're up after 1. Mankari gets 1. They tie it up in the 2. Ant whistle for them. And third period. And they get 2. And that's going to do it for us. So unfortunately, first round exit for us. You really hate to see it. Would have loved to at least make it to, the finals. You're off there 6 assists in 5 games, though. Jesus, dude. I mean, I have a feeling like our goaltending had something to do with that. Burns was really great in the regular season, but he was just a young, inexperienced goalie. But that's the risk you take in this game, I guess. Overall, though, nothing to be super, super disappointed about. I'm still pretty glad that, we got 1 Stanley Cup with the Leafs. So we're going to sim out to the draft here, though, kind of see, who retires this season and who wins the Stanley Cup in 2033. And guys, the Montreal Canadiens went on to win the Stanley Cup, so that kind of softens the blow just a little bit, losing out to, the eventual Stanley Cup champions in the first round. So yeah, again, that just kind of makes it a little less salty with getting eliminated in our final season with the Leafs. So yeah, they take down the Avalanche in 6 games, and we're going to head out to the draft here. I do want to sim real quick and just kind of see Vegas there wins the draft lottery. Mostly just want to see who retires. And let's take a look. Matthews, though, still going to play another season. Gaudreau, Rantanen, Eichel, Barzal, Konechny leading the way. I also have some other big names, Besser, Schmaltz on the forwards. As for defense, though, you got Taves, Provorov, Forsling there leading the way. Also got guys like Marino, Gavrikov, Matt Roy. And for goalies, well, big names here, though. Saros, Hellebuck, Sorokin, Husso, Vejmelka, Thompson, Peterson, Hill, all retiring this season. All right, guys. So I'm not going to go through the draft here. Obviously, we're done with the series. But I think it is interesting to see just, this team. I think we did a really great job. We do want to look at the awards, though, real quick. So obviously, wow, 4 seasons in a row, Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup, though. So maybe that's a good sign of things to come. I know Canadian fans always love to complain about how the Canadian teams don't win cups lately. But there you have it in this goal play cinematic universe. Last 4 seasons here, Canadian team wins it. Bedard gets the Art Ross and the Hart. Quinn Hughes gets the Norris. Pedersen with the Lady Byng. Jets player gets the Calder there. Slavkovsky gets the Conn Smythe. Levi with the Vezina and the William Jennings. Grier gets Bill Masterson, LA coach with the Jack Adams. Kosick with the Selke. Bedard with the Ted Lindsay. Kaprizov there gets the Maurice Richard. So that's going to do it for the awards. And that's also going to do it for this franchise series. Unfortunately, couldn't win a Stanley Cup in the final year with the Leafs, but we do have, we did have a really good run with the Leafs. I feel, we were pretty successful overall. And something I thought would be interesting to do is just kind of an overall franchise, overview here that I was sort of keeping track with as we went along. So with the Leafs, we finished with a cumulative record of 453, 229, and 56. So, really good overall record. We had 5 50-plus win seasons. We had 2 President's Trophies, 5 division titles, 9 playoff appearances, 3 Stanley Cup final appearances, and, of course, 1 Stanley Cup. So, honestly, I'm going to write that off as a pretty successful franchise series. Obviously, we did accomplish the main overarching goal of winning a Stanley Cup with the Leafs, and we did it all with Austin Matthews on the team, so that's something I really loved. And thanks to you all for the support on this series. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this video in particular, as always, leave a like and subscribe. The support helps me out a ton, and I'm going to be uploading some fun videos in between now and, NHL 24. Believe it or not, I'm already looking forward to that game. So, we're going to do some more Marvel character sims in this game, just kind of individual videos. I don't think I'm going to do another franchise series just because I probably won't have the time with fall semester starting. So that's going to do it for this one. And until next time, have a good one, y'all.